everything always seems to come off a lot easier than it is to put back on.
My name's John and I'm trying to get a 1977 MGB GT that's been off the road for 30 years back on the road, and in this video I deal with the worst rust yet.
This was definitely the home for something. Oh dear, now that is not a glamorous job. So as you've seen, I've got the full inner wing out now. I've tidied up the spot welds where I could, and I've cut off a bit of the side panel to the footwell. And it's started to show us what sort of damage we're working with on that side now. And when you start getting the rust off and you start getting all the bits off, it doesn't look as bad. You've just got to get stuck in, and as soon as you start, then you start seeing progress. Yes, it probably is a lot worse than the other side, but the first side was my first attempt, so now at least I've got a bit of practice behind me. I'm leaving it for today. I am shattered, and I definitely need a shower. This box might clean up. I think it actually looks worse than it is. We'll give that a go. I've seen quite a few refurbished ones on T-Bay. We'll give it a go because got nothing to lose. I think I might need a couple new master cylinders though. To my knowledge, you can't buy repair panels for this section, so short of cutting a section out of a parts car, I'm gonna have to make something up. I haven't particularly got that much left to work with. I mean, obviously I can get the rough shape, but I think there's a lot of bolt holes and captive nuts that I'll have to get in the perfect place. I'm gonna leave this section on the car for the time being because there's so many holes in it dividing it up. My plan is to create a whole new section that comes out all the way out here. The bottom of this is just gone. I'll take the rust back to see where we have some good metal and where I'm gonna have to cut. Make one big panel and then put the panel, what the am I on about? Right. So cut the bottom of this strengthening panel out, take the rust back. Before I take this out, I'll make a template in the rough shape that I need. I will use the existing metal before taking it out to line up all my bolt holes that I'm gonna have to drill. There'll be quite a lot of new things that I've not done before on this bit, so we'll see how it turns out. I'm gonna give it a go. This is all about learning new stuff. If I get it wrong, I'll just start again. I don't know if I'm getting a bit trigger happy with how much stuff I'm cutting off, but I don't see how else to do it. This is a very flat accelerator pedal bracket. I've just brayed this with a hammer to flatten it out. And if you can imagine, the center part is what mounts to this, and then you can see the folds there, they both come out. And then this sits in the middle, and then this bolt here would pass through one side and then secure in the neck. So it'd sort of be like that shape, and it holds onto the accelerator pedal like that. The full panel for this was over £100, and I found this online and it was 20 quid. And I thought, surely I can make some. Even a man of my ability should be able to make something in that shape. It might look like there's a lot of madness and not much method, but there is some method here. So my plan is I'm going to replace all the bad metal with that. You can see that there's too much on the top, and that's because I'm going to put a fold on the top. I'm aware there's still a bit of rust down here, but I've left that because I'm going to do a separate piece for that. Because if I'm honest, I just wanted this bit to be as easy as possible. So I just wanted it to be flat with one lip on the top. So this edge I've left quite a lot of extra metal on as well. I wasn't sure how far it needs to come out yet. I didn't know if it would be a tidier job having this panel overlap this one and just cut out holes to mount the splash panel onto, rather than welding this to the inside or having it fold in. I'm not sure yet, I haven't decided on that bit yet, but I've given myself the extra metal just so when I do decide, I've got it there if I want it. And then once I've got that into some sort of shape, it'll bolt onto the front of this panel. There'll be two lips on the top, which will mount to the lips on this as well, and spot weld onto the panel that I make for the top. Sort of. I couldn't find any good metal to weld to, because there isn't any. I don't know what I was hoping to find behind there, but it wasn't that. Right, we've taken out the inner wing, we cut out the rust out of the foot panel where the accelerator pedal joins onto, and then I've cut out all the rust on the pedal box, the top of the bulkhead pedal box section. Well, not all the rust, it's still quite pitted, but if I replaced every bit of pitted metal on this car, it would never get finished. And I'm not after a show car, I'm just after a fun project that's safe to be on the road. Whilst I was cutting out the rust on the bulkhead pedal box area, I found Stuart Little's house. He was living behind there. He was living behind there and he'd made a mess, so the patch I'm going to have to do on that pedal box bulkhead top section is going to be a bit more tricky because I'm going to have to get in the footwell somehow. So that's what I'm going to try to do today. Try and get that pedal box section done, patch in the hole that I'll cut out to find the mouse nest. If I've got enough time, I'll try and get the side panel on. Once we're at that point, I should be able to start getting the new inner wing on. Right, break time. I've cut out as much of that mouse nest area as I'm going to. I should probably cut out more, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get in there to do a good enough job because it's really awkward. So I think I can clean up what's left well enough to weld to. I've cut out a patch panel to put in there already. Once I've done that and that pedal box panel's in, I'm going to attempt to put the side panel on. The side panel comes with the lip where the outer wing bolts onto. There's already some of that lip on the car. It's not in amazing condition, but it's not terrible. Oh dear. And the inner wing comes with a section of that lip as well. So I've got 3 bits which overlap. Ideally, I want to keep what's on the car because that'll give me a good line to work to. But the repair panel is going to be in better nick. Figure that out when I get there. I think I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. But when I do get how did that come off? But when I do get that side panel on, then I think we'll be in a good place to start putting the inner wing back on. Obviously, I'm going to have to figure out all the bolt holes for the pedal box. This is doing that. Let's get that patch panel on, let's get the side panel on, and then hopefully I can get that inner wing started this weekend. Murphy, deep ball. You can tell I've been wearing my mask. Right, I'm walking away from it today again. I'm really not happy with that weld, how it's coming out. I don't know if it's just because the metal I'm welding to is bad. I was trying to be really careful and go slowly, but I think it's warped a little bit. And that's really frustrated me because that's going to be noticeable once it's finished. I'm not trying to make it a show car, but I don't want it to look bad. So I'm going to walk away from it now, otherwise I'm going to rush and it's just going to get worse. I'm off for a shower, grabbing a beer, and then I'll come back tomorrow. Stop eating grass. Hopefully we can get the side panel on today. Stop whinging about the quality of those welds. They're rubbish, let's just deal with it. If you've not seen any of these videos before, I've never done any bodywork or welding before. This car was really just for practice. It was a very cheap car that me and my dad are working together on, so we can hopefully get it on the road, but equally to practice our bodywork and welding, and clearly I need quite a lot of practice, and this car is giving me that. I don't think I've counted a single panel that's not been rusty so far. So really my main goals are just get some practice with bodywork, get some practice with welding, make the car safe to be on the road, and have it look better than it did when it arrived on that truck. One thing that I am doing, mainly because finding this on this car has been really annoying for me, every panel that I'm repairing or putting on the car, I'm trying to fit it the way it was fitted originally, which may be a really stupid thing to say, but what I've been finding on this car is every patch is just seam welded between like 3 or 4 panels, and you've got to unstitch it, and it's been a bit of a nightmare. At least in the future, if I come back to one of these jobs, or someone else has the car maybe, and they find one of my fixes, and they think, what moron has done this? At least they only have to take 1 panel out, and they can replace it, rather than unstitching years of bodges. So I think I'm going to leave it there. Yes, I haven't got the inner wing on today, and I haven't even got this side panel on, but I've been focusing on trying to get everything just right before I weld it in, so I've not actually taken the welder to it. At least when I come back, all those little intricate bits, which are really annoying, I won't have to do. And hopefully it should just be a case of welding all this up so it's solid and getting this wing on. Yeah, I don't think there's too much work now. The hardest bits I think I've done. We're getting there slowly but surely. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said earlier in the video and earlier in the series, this is the first project I've ever done like this. Never done any welding or anything on a car before, so it's all new to me, and I'm learning as I'm going. So if you've got any tips, got any advice, if you've done an MGB before, then please feel free to give me any advice. Thanks everyone again for watching. If this is the first time watching one of these videos, please go back and look at the other 7, I think there is, to see how we've got to this point. I will see you guys in the next one. What have you done? What have you done? Well, I guess we're not playing fetch anymore.